Hi, I'm Justin Lane. I'm with Endurance International Group, Bluehost brand. I'm one of the co-chairs of the MAAWG hosting SIG. And with me is my co-chair.
I'm Matt Stith. I'm with Rackspace Hosting, and we're going to talk about our best practices document here that is looking to be published very soon regarding best practices for hosting companies. Justin, would you like to discuss that a little bit?
Yeah. The thing for me about the best practices is it makes a very easy step-by-step on how you can get yourself up to speed and what you need to worry about. It's not saying, here's the mountain that you have to go through of your abuse reports. It's, here are the things you need to prioritize. Here's the things you are going to need to have in place. And then we start breaking down into, okay, this, you need to look at these things, you need to look at these, the feedback loops, the importance of them. Because I know for myself and believe for you, I don't have enough people to go through all the data I'm getting day by day.
I'm really drawn to the fact that it can apply to pretty much any hosting company out there. Anybody who wants to dedicate themselves to growing themselves and making them a respectable hosting company. We wanted to make this document so if you woke up in the morning and wanted to start a hosting company, we want this document to be one of those first things that you reference when you have to deal with anti-abuse. And anybody from that one-person hosting company up to Amazon can use these best practices. We're trying not to limit it just to the bigger guys on the playing field.
Well, and both of our companies at one time weren't the big guys, but I love the fact that it can go to anyone. It's going to help you be more secure, and that in turn means when those bad actors come looking for the easy mark to get their phishing and their malware and their spamming up, they're not going to be hitting companies that are using the best practices, because we already tell them the things they need to do. It's in our document. Here's how you should look at vetting. Here's how you need to set up various levels of access so that you can control and keep your reputation clean.
Yeah, and the other thing that you can get from this is the reputation that you get for the customers when they're looking at hosting companies. They're going to, the ones that are really serious about growing with a hosting company are going to look at what your terms of service say, what your acceptable use policy says, the controls that you have in place. And we're trying with this document to lay some of those out so you have that baseline there. And as we move forward with this document, we want to keep true to that, and that as the landscape changes, we're still going to make this apply to everyone, so you can keep that reputation with the customers and also with the malicious parties, that I'm not even going to bother with going there because I know that I'm just going to get shut off.
Oh yeah, there's nothing like seeing a log file where you've had a bad actor who was on your network who's now stopped because he knows it's no use, I'm not getting in anymore. Granted, we're always going to get new things that come up that we have to address, but that's the great thing about our business. We're growing so fast as an industry that there's always going to be new threats that we can address and figure out together how to make this better for all of us. It's not just about Rackspace being number one or Endurance being number one. It's let's make the internet better together so that everybody gets a better piece of the pie.
Yeah, and I can't agree with your sentiment more. That's one of the overall main goals of this hosting SIG, is to not only develop these best practices, but when we come up with one of these issues, making sure that we have a panel in place, that we get the companies that are involved that may be part of the issues that we're seeing, and being able to talk to them and being able to work together and collaborate together and maybe fix some of the problems with these companies, because they'll come to MAAWG, they'll see, oh, there's this hosting SIG, they're working on all of this, they're serious about it. We came to MAAWG and we didn't get hammered for the issues that we're having, but we came and we worked through it.
Well, and not only that, but even if you can't come to MAAWG, if you read these and you do these, you are miles ahead of the other guy who has just started his hosting company that is not doing that. And granted, he might get a little bit more money in the short run from the criminals, but in the long run, he's not going to make it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're following these, you're doing the right steps. You are positioned to grow yourself into the next GoDaddy, Rackspace, Endurance, just by doing the right thing.
Yeah, you're definitely going to protect yourself. You're going to protect the investment that you've made. You're going to protect the customers that are good on your network.
Yeah.
You're not going to be incurring support costs because you've gotten your entire network black-holed by somebody, and you're just in general you're going to have a happier, more stable company because of this.
Exactly, and it's hard to put those things into a price point because, yeah, you can't see when you avoid that blacklist. But believe me, it feels so good when you can say, I know I was having a problem, I fixed it, and we didn't have these issues.
Yeah, and it's great it's a great metric or a great indicator to see this is how good we're doing. Sometimes you can't look at all of the complaints you're getting, but with the way that you're perceived on the internet and amongst your peers, that's a great indicator of how you're doing, how well just in general the industry's doing. That's just where we want to get with everything that we're doing.
Yeah, and for those of you who have joined us, please visit MAAWG.org, check out our hosting SIG best practices document. It's really going to help make your life easier and make the internet a better place.
And if you have any interest in MAAWG or joining the hosting SIG, you can visit the website and fill out the form on our Contact Us link that's right on the front page.
So even if you're not a member of MAAWG but you have a question, you can reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to help you where we can.